Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Today, you're going to learn about three of my favorite hobbies that I love to partake in. And this is important for you to know because we're going to be analyzing each other's speeches. And if you're watching, I'm pretty sure that's why you're here. Hi, my name is Brittany, and I am qualified to talk to you about my favorite things because I've spent a lot of time loving them and even more time practicing them. Today, you're going to learn about my three favorite things: football, but most of all the Niners, shopping online, and manifesting. But before we get started, I just wanted you to know that if I sound animated when I give this speech, that's because that's who I am, hence the show tune in the beginning. First things first, I want to get started with my love of football, but most of all the Niners. I was a junior at Nottingham High School in Syracuse, New York, when I finally decided to give football cheerleading a try. It was literally love at first quarter. The bright lights, the crisp fall air, the chanting of the crowd, the testosterone filled environment. It just gives gladiator. My cheerleading coach and my favorite history teacher, Mrs. Moses, she finally convinced me to try out football cheerleading when I had been cheerleading for basketball since the 7th grade. It's just what I preferred. It was a lot more fast paced. But the coolest thing about Mrs. Moses was that she wanted to make sure that we understood what we were cheering for. So she taught us the basic rules of football, which helped me gain a respect for football I never knew that I would have. Fast forward to being an adult, my dad was a die-hard Cowboys fan. So naturally, I decided to cheer for a team that was good at beating the Cowboys. So I started cheering for the Eagles for a couple years. But when I moved to Northern California from the East Coast 13 years ago, I couldn't watch any of the games. So only the primetime games from the East Coast because of the time difference. So I kind of gave up watching football for a couple of years until 5 years ago when I attended a Niners game in beautiful Santa Clara. Man, being a Niners fan, it's literally like being a part of a family. We were screaming Niners all the way through the hallways. We laughed, we cheered, we even got spoiled by fellow Niners fans that were sitting next to us. They literally just kept buying us food. I'm not kidding. The sun was shining, the beer was cold, the garlic fries were crispy, and I left that stadium feeling like I was on cloud nine. It's been a full-blown love affair ever since. Literally, I get so emotional by football that when they lost in the playoffs this year after enduring so much, I cried myself to sleep and I felt like the loss was my own. It broke my heart. Hi, my name is Brittany, and it's been a little over 142 days since I've had my last fix of football. Send help. Now that I've told you about my love of football and the Niners, I'm going to tell you guys about my second favorite thing, which is online shopping. I love late night shopping and browsing the web, finding something that just speaks to my soul. I love everything about online shopping, from hitting confirm purchase to seeing the emails that say preparing, shipped, but most of all, I love that email that says delivered. I literally feel like a child on Christmas Day. When I have no package coming to my house, I feel like something's missing. It can be the smallest package, it doesn't matter. I will literally feel like something is missing if I don't have something to track or know that something's on its way. Trust me, I have looked into Shopaholics Anonymous, and I just might give it a thought. So even though I've been wanting the Ninja Crispy Pro, I've been hesitant about purchasing it because it literally is just such a big purchase until our air fryer started going out. It gave me an excuse to get the Ninja Crispy Pro. Our air fryer started making a noise like That's when I knew it was time to convince my fiance to let me get the Ninja Crispy Pro. She agreed, and I truly and thoroughly enjoyed every single moment, from hitting confirm purchase to delivery. It was like a kid on Christmas Day. I'm so excited. But to me, guys, shopping is better than drugs. Or maybe it is my drug. Now that I've told you about my love of football and online shopping, I'm going to tell you about my most favorite thing to do, manifesting. What if I told you that I have magical powers and that you do too? And I don't mean the hocus pocus Matilda kind of powers. However, that would be cool. I'm talking about the power that we all hold in our words and beliefs. For example, I had wanted a Honda Pilot for years. And in the earlier parts of 2025, I set my sights on the brand new matte gray leather interior Honda Pilot while I was getting my oil changed at Crown Motors in Reading. I proceeded to take a picture, make the phone my wallpaper, and tell everybody around me, even my children, that that was my new car. I would envision myself driving it and even envision the smell of a brand new car. Then, one random day in June of 2025, I was at that same Crown getting my oil change when I thought to myself, I'll see if I can get that car today. With shaky credit and no down payment, I did just that. I walked away with my brand new 2025 Honda Pilot Touring Edition. Her name is Tara, and she's everything I envisioned. So, let's review my 3 favorites. I love football, but most of all the Niners. I love online shopping, and I love manifesting. So, when the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Both my opening and closing song are referenced from the movie The Sound of Music.